Yes, once again, this is me bringing you up to speed on a couple of things which are happening in our beautiful country, Kenya, and also on our continent, Africa. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Yes, this is me, Charles. And last week, a lot happened. Of course, the most important thing was the Springboks. South Africa's national team won the Rugby World Cup. That's huge. Why is it huge? It's huge because in life, being a winner, being a champion, being the best at something is basically the essence of our existence. Only the winners are the ones who have survived, are the ones who have been able to, let's say, our foreparents, our forefathers, our ancestors. The ones who won is why we're here. Whether it was a war, whether it was just life generally, being a winner is everything. And also, being a winner makes you feel good. So I was thinking to myself, what lessons can we as Kenyans learn from the Springbok victory? Okay, every 4 years there's a World Cup. So we're looking at, this is 2023. So 2027 is going to be in Australia. And then 4 years after that, 2031, we don't know where it's going to be. Or at least not yet. What if Kenya can win the World Cup in 2031? What if in 2027 we can at least show up? Because now they've expanded the number of teams from, I think it's now up to 24. There's room for us. They've created space for the most dangerous team, Kenya team. Cheza na sisi. But are we up to the task? Can we do this? The Springbok victory has really affected the South Africans because, the funny thing about South Africa is before 1991, when Mandela was released, and they had this apartheid system. And yeah, Miros, people like me, they were really being, of course, I don't want to use the D word, but let me use it anyway, discriminated against. They were being, they didn't have the liberty within their own country to do what they wanted to do. They were oppressed. Walikuwa nafinyiliwa vibaya sana. But some things were working. Roads were being built, lights were working. I mean, in some sectors of the country, it was actually more competitive than some first world countries. They were building their own ammunition, vehicles, industry was booming. I mean, the economy was organized. It was the best economy in Africa, I think. Yeah. Now I think it's number 3 or 4. It has been overtaken. So why is it that when our fellow Africans, okay, I don't want to say Africans because even white people are Africans in my book. As long as they were born here, and a lot of them have been here since 1600 something, when the first Dutchman arrived in Cape Town. That's 400 years? That's a long time. That's a long time. Personally, as a Nandi, or as some people want to choose to describe me as a Kalenjin, I don't even know if we have been in Kenya for those 400 years. Maybe we were still in Sudan, following the Nile coming down from Egypt. Because apparently that's where we came from. That's why they call us Nilotes. We follow the Nile coming down south. because every single history book that I've been able to read can only trace our heritage up to the late 1700s, early 1800s. Before that, darkness. Nobody knows. But they know we came from Misri, Egypt, that area, coming down, pole over the years. I mean, did we even exist? Maybe there was an evolution going on. Maybe there was a breakaway from one tribe from another, language variation, culture variation. Because even our ruling system, ruling culture, Orgaic, in Nandi, for those who know, they only trace back to about 4, 5 generations. Before that, we didn't have. In fact, it's when we came down, from the Mount Elgon area to the Trans Nzoia Wasingishu, and we met Maasais, because Maasais were all over. Maasais actually, according to history, was the largest tribe in Kenya in the 1800s. But we came and we discovered that they were grazing cattle all over the place. And then they also had some bad luck, because I guess when, people started intermingling with them, they got diseases, and a lot of them died. I think it was smallpox, rinderpest, all sorts of weird things. Their cattle died. And then, of course, there were some wars. We Nandis fought them at Kipkaren. And they gave up, put their hands in the air and said, Nyi wa Nandi, kaeni Wasingishu, and they kept going south to currently Narok area. That's why the name Wasingishu is there. It's actually a Maasai name, it's not a Nandi name. So you find that, these Boers have been around longer than many, many, let me call them tribes right now, can be traced in Kenya, or what we call Kenya now. So the Africans, but so Mandela is released, okay? The black majority gets into power, ANC. You think they were smart, but they're not. They're just like, I guess, the rest of us, corrupt. Now the country is collapsing in some sectors. They're having constant blackouts. It's part of the culture. So they need something to bring them together. And a lot of them don't, for some reason, they don't get along. Okay, even us in Kenya, we don't get along, I guess. There was a time when, Kikuyus and Luos, they didn't get along. Shifta Uko in Northeastern didn't get along with whoever else was there. So, it's kind of common. I mean, look at Rwanda, Tutsis and the Hutus, up until Kagame, even them, they didn't get along. And who knows, after Kagame, maybe they might go back to the bush and start fighting again. It's very tenuous. Look at South Sudan. They struggled, they got independence. They say, yes, okay, now we don't want to be ruled by the, Arab-type Africans in the north. Let them keep Khartoum. Then they want to keep Juba. The minute they got Juba like this, they start fighting again. Yeah? Is it called the Dinka and the Nuer? Why? What is it? What's wrong with this culture of fighting all the time? Enough, I think. Yeah, we need to start thinking. Anyway, so the Springboks, their victory, they say they're fighting for the country. I mean, it's already impended. I don't know why they're fighting, but to bring them together, to unite them as a uniting force, because victory brings people together. Success breeds more success. Even in life, those people who stand out in a group, they draw others to them. There's always that, that magnetism, where people who shine. And that's why you have like when musicians play and people like their music, all of a sudden they get a fan base. They get people running after them. They become sort of special. But if you met the person in a room or in an airport, or in the supermarket, and you didn't know who he was, it's just another guy. So accomplishments is what makes people stand out. So here we are, 2031. Can we win the World Cup? First of all, 2027. Can we make it in? They've expanded. They made room for us. Can we at least beat Namibia? Not once or twice, but enough times so that when they come to the selection of teams in Africa, we're number 2 behind South Africa, behind the world champions. We've done it in 7-a-side. We've beaten South Africa several times. It's not a big deal anymore. We beat them the other day. But when it comes to 15-a-side, it's a different ballgame. We have a weakness in Kenya with team sports. I don't know what it is. When it comes to individual sports, we shine, we excel. Olympics, we're winning. Individuals out there, marathon, doesn't matter whether they come from whichever part of the country they come from. Douglas Wakihuri didn't come from Rift Valley, but, he shined. Yobes Ondieki from Kisii. Shine. And then, of course, the hundreds. I don't know if we've reached thousands yet, but hundreds of my fellow tribesmen, Kalenjins, running up and down. It's become normal. Someone breaks a world record, lands at the airport. It's just another guy. It's not a big day. It's another day at the office. It's become so common, our athletes breaking records. It's not a big deal anymore. Okay, maybe Olympics, if we win like over 5 or 6 medals, yeah, they might have a parade for them, but, and it's not good. We should celebrate each and every one of them, but, we Kenyans, we get bored very easily. But here we are, South Africa, Springboks, they're celebrating all over the country. So my challenge to us, 2031, Kenya team, champions, rugby, World Cup. Can we make it happen? Okay, moving on. So the king came to visit Kenya. King of England, the former empire, British Empire. The queen passed on. She stayed forever. She was queen for what? Over 50 years. People thought that she was going to live forever, but, sooner or later, it doesn't matter how much money you have or how famous you are or how rich you are, sooner or later, God calls you up to heaven. So now the king is coming. And then we heard the comedian saying that, angalia mfalme amekuja kuona mali yake. The king has come to see his property. That the ultimate landlord of Kenya is here. He wants to come and collect his rent. That's why he stayed for 4 days. He didn't come for 1 day, 4 whole days. Moving around, checking out things, seeing what's going on. So, some people did some research and said, okay, let's just find out. Kenya. So what is the most basic thing in Kenya? Okay, number 1, we wake up. In the morning, what do we do? The first thing we do, we take a shower. At least most of us take a shower. The soap that we use, Lux, Rexona, Lifebuoy, it's made by East African Industries, which is owned by Unilever, which is based in the UK. Okay, so we want to brush our teeth, Colgate, Close Up, UK. You see what I'm getting at? Okay, so we want to cook some food, Kimbo, Cowboy, cooking fat, basically, UK, You see where I'm going with this thing? Okay, tea. Okay, we Kenyans say, oh, we have tea, we export tea, but the majority of the tea we have is owned by these multinational private companies. Multinational meaning what? UK. You see what I'm getting at? And here we are at we're independent, tuko na uhuru gani? We don't own anything in this country. And then you decide, oh, I'm going to make a phone call. Yeah? Hello? Safaricom. So who's the majority shareholder, Safaricom? UK or Vodafone, which is UK. I want Safaricom. Can you imagine? M-Pesa, you got to send some money to somebody somewhere, your family, or you want to buy something. Who's making profit? UK. The king. The king is in charge. 60 years after Uhuru, we're still being manhandled by the British. And if it's not UK, it's US. All these multinational companies coming in, making money, investing in Kenya. And there was one guy who asked a question. He said, why is it that Kenyans, we're trying to run away from Kenya? All of us, by the way. Yeah? Everybody wants to leave the country. You want to go the first world somewhere. Want to go out, Australia, US, UK, Germany, all these places. We want to leave. Tunataka kutoka. Yeah? Some people are selling land, everything. Get this son of mine, get this daughter of mine out of this country so that we can live and make it. Yet those people, they are busy bringing money into our country to invest. What does investment mean? They come, they create a business, they put some money in, but they know they're going to make a return which is more than what they've invested. Sometimes 2, 3, 4 times more. And who are they investing in? Us. Why? Because when you wake up in the morning, everything you do, from the minute you rise up out of bed, you're giving the money. You're giving the money. The clothes you wear, the shoes you wear, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, basic things. You're making them rich. Tea, coffee, whatever. Things that you feel, these are Kenyan products. They're not Kenyan products. Yeah, okay, they're using Kenyan soil. Even that soil, even that land. Last week, there was a bunch of programs about land issues. And I was watching. Apparently, even some title deeds for some large tracts of land in Kenya are still under the pre-colonial land titling system. Crown land. Title deed is still UK. Crown land owned by the king. So we have a long way to go. Sorry, I'm laughing, Kenyans, but we're in trouble. Tuko na shida. That's why when, people say, oh, there's billions of money in Kenya, yet people on the ground, hawana do? They have no money. And they ask themselves why we can't get jobs, we can't make a living, we can't do anything in life. There's only a few, maybe 20% of Kenyans who are really living the way the rest of us should be living, but 80% struggling. And I remember I talked about the education system. If it was up to me, for real, from day one, if I was alive in 1963, I'd have said, okay, gentlemen, we're independent. When you wake up in the morning, you want to go take a shower. That soap that you're using to shower, has to be made in Kenya by a Kenyan. Doesn't care what kind of Kenyan, but a Kenyan. Toothbrush, toothpaste, Kenyan. Mafuta ya kupika chakula, Kenyan. Chakula yenyewe, Kenyan. Start from there. The clothes you wear, Kenyan. Because we have cotton, we have people who can stitch and sew. But we're still importing suits from UK and dresses from Turkey or Dubai or whatever, Why? Why did we get independence if it's just Uhuru, in name only? Independence in name only. We don't own anything. 60 years, by now we should be making our own cars. At least Moi tried with Nyayo Pioneer. When that didn't work, there was an Isuzu called Uhuru, I think. Some saloon car. People are like, oh, Kenya. Oh, no, that was Japanese. Now there's one called Siju Mobius. Kenyan car, Kenyan made for the bush. You look into it, it's not Kenyan. It's still some guy in UK decided, okay, I'm going to make a car for Kenyan roads. Because Kenyan roads are so special. They don't handle normal cars. Igari kawaida hii, no. And then there was this thing. Sorry, it's just funny. And then there was this thing that they used to say, you need to bring cars, you Kenyanize cars, Africanize them, make them suitable for our conditions, our environment. If we know that we need special vehicles, why can't we make our own? Yeah? Every day we have graduates coming out of these campuses, engineers. What are they doing? Are they learning just to go work for East African Industries and Kenya Power? Are they just, learning how to be, watu wa kazi ya mkono? Are we not teaching them from day one? You go to school, you come out, you're an engineer, create something that people can use, that you can export, that you can hire other people so that they can work. Basically, can't we build our own economy? No, we have an economy, but it's not ours. I mean, where I come from, there's a lot of tea farms. There are big companies there like George Williamson, Eastern Produce, James Finlay, formerly Brookbone, now Unilever. All these massive tea farms, massive. And then you hear all these politicians saying that, I think the land leases are expiring. So you find all these guys who have stolen money because none of them have produced anything. So really, they can't have made the money because you make money when you produce something, you sell, you make money. But if you join politics and you become rich, even here in the States, you join politics, you become rich, you're not really making anything, you're just stealing, moving money around because you're the one who passes the budget and 10% is coming back to you. So, same thing, corruption. Okay, fine. So you decide to grab these tea farms. Or you buy them, I don't mind. What do you do with the tea? The thing with these products is this, without a market, they're useless. So you tell me, if you're going to look and get all these tea farms, put Kenyans in there. Doesn't matter which Kenyans for now. Let's assume. Are these Kenyans going to go all the way to UK and convince those tea buyers there that now you're in charge, your new sheriff is in town, but we're still going to give you the same product? And they're going to buy from you at the same price. You think so? You think? think they want to just buy from you at whatever price you want, arbitrary, and make you happy. They'll be like, no, I don't feel like buying from you. In fact, they might go to Zimbabwe, Zambia. Right now, they have tea in Malawi. They might just go next door to Uganda and say, Kenyan tea, you can have it. Because they control the markets. When you hear about things like cartels, in the coffee cartels, and then the other day they were saying, Starbucks is coming to Kenya, but there's still cartels in between. So when it comes to business, if you don't have that personal touch, you might have the product, but how do you convince the buyer? How do you convince the buyer to buy from you? So what is my solution? We have 50, almost 55, I think, million Kenyans. Start with that. The East African Federation, all the way now, has expanded to Congo. Estimates over 300 million people. Let's start with that market. Let's create products for that market. Let's Kenyans come up with basic items: soap, sufurias, cooking fat for that market. Because once we have our own products and we have our own markets, whether it's local or within the East African Federation, then can we call ourselves independent? And then this culture of people trying to leave your country, yet it's the best country in the world. I mean, you leave, you go, you're leaving it for who? We spent 50, 60 years trying to kick out the Wazungus because they came and they discovered there was paradise here. They said, my God, these people are living in heaven here. They don't know. And then you read stories about how Naivasha was such a nice place. Lemuru, they came, they built big houses, which are still standing till today, created big farms, Kericho tea farms, all those tea farms there. If they hadn't come in, 1885 or 1901, wherever they came, it would just be another forest. But now that they've come and they've shown us the way, now we know, Kumbe, you can plant this thing and make money with it. Why can't we find our own markets? Own this thing. That's the question. And that is the solution. So when the king comes next time around, he's not coming to see his things. He's coming as a guest, a real guest, looking for opportunities, not coming to secure what they already have. Say, Kenya, half this country is ours. Barclays Bank, Standard Chartered Bank. Okay, Barclays doesn't. I think it's now ABSA. But anyway, either way, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. Banking, tea, agricultural products, production, industries, yote. We don't own anything. So let's change that. Let's change it. If we don't do it now, maybe the next generation, but we need to start somewhere. So let's start today. And in 2031, Kenya should win the Rugby World Cup. Thank you for your time. Next week, we'll have another get-together. But for now, enjoy your weekend and enjoy this victory.